Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. I just discovered when doing my tick test that my voice is kind of back today. It's definitely not at 100%, but holy crap, is it actually getting kind of close. This one, yeah, that was just that letter, and we got one from Barbara. Yeah, we're good. Get our painting from Red. Get our interest from the post office, because yes, it's March. It's also Sunday. I slept clean through the morning. That's why there's no turnips this week. We got 1,100 bells in interest, so turnips again next week. Honest. I'm gonna do my best for that anyway. I cannot guarantee anything, because I might end up sleeping through it, but I also might not. I mean, hopefully by next, for me, Saturday, I'll be able to be streaming again. So I'll need to be awake before I start streaming so that I can do that, because it'll be Unite Saturday. If I could angle correctly, that would be really cool. Angle. There we go. Wasn't even the money rock. I do have a cough drop in today because, yeah, my throat's still kind of scratchy, but it's better. It's definitely getting there. I think I'm finally getting over whatever this is. I still have so much brain fog. Like, I'm normally not the most, observant person. Also, I have a bit of soup on my face, but I guess I don't. It's not wet. Feels like I do, though. I'll forget what I'm doing quite often. I have forgotten what I am doing way too much lately. Hello, Paula. I still don't want to try doing your voice or anyone's voice, but expected. Got nothing to offer you, but can get if you want. So, something you need? What's the latest? Hey, you gotta get your hands on good furniture? That's just something that's kind of making me sad and lonely. See anything? I'm not trying to fill a hole in my heart by furnishing my home. That'd be nuts. Besides, I love being signaled. The takeaway here is, if you come across any good furniture, send it my way. Any type will do. You know, I got a plan. I'm not looking at you. Huh? I got a lady palm. Would you like this? I think she's the one that gave it to me. Exactly where I want it. Alright, just putting it down somewhere. She just replaced her plant. Cool. We're a real pal. But, yeah, I do have something I kind of want to yap about today, and it is to do with card games. And it comes from a new Magic the Gathering card that a creator I watch called CGB really hates. And I can understand why he hates it. Which I will talk with Annalisa first. Hey, Steven, ready for another great day? What's on your mind? A lot of stuff. I want to chat. Give me your honest opinion. How's my outfit look? I think it's really cute. Steven, you're too kind. It's nice to hear that, even if it does make me blush a little. It is really cute. Like, it matches her design perfectly. I love it. Ooh, another gold nugget. May as well do my beach check while I'm here. And I forget the name of the card, but it's a red 2-drop that can't be countered and makes it so all of your cards can't be countered. And he's going on as if this is the worst thing in the world because it's a piece of basically blue hate. Because that's what blue does a lot of, is counter your stuff. And I honestly have to kind of disagree with him that that's the good guy, not the counter spells. Like, and I know he went on this whole big rant about how, if you remove all the counter spells and all that, it just becomes Hearthstone. And it's like, well, yeah, Hearthstone in its prime was a pretty pretty good game, so that doesn't sound like that bad of a thing to me. These days, I don't know. I haven't played Hearthstone in forever. But, you know, back when I played Hearthstone, one of the best things you could do was play Cthulhu, who did a lot of random crap, so it could go really either way. But, like, it's one of those things of, like, I kind of want to do, like, a whole dedicated video on this. Because it pertains to Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. Which is where I'm mostly coming from, is as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. Like, when you're playing a two-person game, and this can apply to any two-player game. Like, it could apply to fighting games. If one player has the ability to just say no to literally everything you're doing, that's not fun. That's a single-player game at that point. Which is why I really don't like the current design philosophy that Konami has for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's very much turning the game into a single-player game. This time of year always makes me want to think of fresh starts. Spring is the perfect time for new beginnings. Real change only happens if you make it happen. Aw. Alright. You're leaving on the 11th. It's been nice knowing you. Good luck out there. You think it's a good idea? Support means a lot to me. Now I'm feeling even better about my decision to move. Thanks, Fufu. I'm gonna miss Annalisa. She is pretty cute, but I don't want to use my one stay on her. Using 10ES, running into is always nice. Small chat. Fishing out of the ocean. The hardest time with it lately. Any ocean fish. Alright, I can do that. That's great, Floof. We got the start of butterflies. I'm pretty sure I already have that one, so... I'll probably do some butterfly catching today, though. Some bug catching. Become a bug catcher for Pokemon. Like... Honestly, the way I see it, the only healthy way to have a large number of negates/counters in a card game is by giving everybody else that doesn't have them copious amounts of ways of either adding extra cost to them or countering them. Like, and can't be countered counters counter spells. Like, that's the whole point of that line of text. That counters a counter spell. So, you know, I don't see that as a bad thing. Now, I am also the type of player who very much in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sees nothing wrong with Mystic Mine. Of which, if... Butterfly, bird, or bug. Knew I didn't have that one. If you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Mystic Mine is a field spell that says, while your opponent controls more monsters than you do, they cannot activate monster effects or declare attacks. It also says, while you control more monsters than your opponent, you cannot activate monster effects or declare attacks. And 7 p.m. you get a whole hour to go shopping. Oh, how generous, boys. Like, it's pretty, you know, it is reciprocal depending on who controls more monsters. The way that Mystic Mine became broken was all of the quick play or trap ways of activating a field spell on your opponent's turn. The problem was never Mystic Mine. The problem was Metaverse, Demise of the Land, you know, anything that could quick synchro into an ancient fairy dragon. Like, those were the problem, not Mystic Mine itself. keeping those around limits your design space for control-based field spells. Steven, like this makes me want to work my core. Crunch. What's up, bro? Let's talk. Hey, Steven, can you do me a solid? Found some of the Dina lost. Can you run it over to her? Yeah, I can do that. I just hope she's home. I will do that. I apologize for not reading his dialogue. I was moving the cough drop around my mouth. I don't know if anyone else says this with cough drops, but if I don't move it too much, it makes like the part of my mouth that's actually sore. See you surviving, duck. What's up? Come on, chat. What's up? Can I come over to your place right now? I mean, sure. I'm kind of in the middle of something, but it's been pretty rare to visit or have an animal over lately, so I don't really want to tell him no. Maybe I'll spot Dino on the way. That'd be really convenient. But like, brain, work with me here. Yeah, like, the problem, at least in my opinion, was never Mystic Mine. It's the card that got banned, because that's the card everybody assumed was the problem. Right now, sorry to inconvenience you or something. Oh, I see. The room is a lot cleaner than I expected. Probably that messy you wouldn't even be able to see the floor. I mean, it's pretty messy. Because he's gonna insist on seeing up here anyway. Not a bad little place here. Nah, it's not. It's got some Pikmin. That's all he's saying. You got Pikmin. Where you keep your mansion, huh? Seems pretty cozy. Down here, does that assume some sort of concept or theme in mind? Nope. But I wouldn't understand it even if you told me. Nah, it's just stuff I like. And a guitar. It's got wave. Good. Didn't really talk about anything important, but it's fun hanging out just the same. I mean, you don't need to talk about important things with friends. You can just talk. Or am I crazy for thinking that? Like, it's one of those things where I know that there's... We haven't talked about Costello yet. I just want to yap. Strange day back at just like it's sunny. What's up, bro? Let's chat. Hey, Steph, come over to my house. You know, it's just a crazy idea off the top of my head. No big deal. What do you think? I mean, can't keep me away. Gonna be a few steps behind. You know, you could lead the way to your own home, but now you just gotta make an excuse to watch my butt. That's just rude. Just rude, man. Tired of your trip. Although, wasn't really that long. Nah, it really wasn't. That's like the way you pictured it. Pictured it, right? And yeah, it looks like how I remember it being. This is literally your house. Smell of youthful ambition. People say my place just smells like a gym. Looking at every nook and cranny. I have stuff from the past and the present, possibly the future. I want you to see some of it. Looking at the past. But like, I personally don't see an issue with a card that basically says your opponent can't do blank that is counterable. Running those counters may not be optimal against every strategy, no, but that shouldn't, you know, stop the card from existing. By reel to reel, music is the way to go when you're looking for some serious cardio. Just gotta move in time. 2, 1, 2. I'm buffer than you. Yes, you are. Almost certainly. Like to design your home based on mine, right? I'll be able to part with some of this stuff. Nah, not interested. Don't want anything, don't want anything. It's fine with me. I just see you walk away with nothing and regret it later. I'm not gonna regret it, man. Okay, he's just talking about his music a lot. I'm gonna head out now. Move into anything in my place first. Friends, don't hold back. I think it's pretty awesome. You like it that much? Yeah, your place was cool, Baguette. Stop by anytime, bro. I mean it, Baguette. But like, I know a lot of card game players don't like that mentality. They want to be able to play their cards, regardless of how playing their cards makes you unable to play yours. And the moment you're able to tell them no, that's when it's the problem. You know, you should have to beat them at their game, not yours, you know. And like, that just gets exhausting to me over time. Like, it is just really annoying to me when it's like, you know, let me give like kind of an example. Anti-spell fragrance in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a trap card that says both players must set spell cards before they can activate them, and you cannot activate them the turn you set them. Basically, it slows down spell cards a turn by turning them into trap cards that you can't use on your opponent's turn. Oh, Dina, welcome to my home. What's on your mind? Delivery! So I have no idea what it could be. I get it from Peck. Take this home. Oh, my pink parka. I was positive I'd lost this. What a relief. Thank you so much for the delivery. Can I interest you in this? Please, it's the least I can do. Got another shirt. It's a lovely tee. Really hope you like it. I mean, my Kirby tee is pretty lovely, and I do like it, so I'll take that as a, you know. But like, people call for anti-spell fragrance to be banned. And not because, oh, it slows down spell cards, but because, well, that big combo deck could play anti-spell fragrance, and then they flip that over, and now you can't play against them because they've locked you out of spell cards, basically. It's like, well, yeah, they could make their combo deck less consistent to run anti-spell fragrance. By that same token, though, you can make your combo deck less consistent and run spell and trap removal, and you can play 3 copies of your spell and trap removal. They can play 1 copy of anti-spell fragrance, with it currently being limited on the ban list. Ah, the honeybee, sweet catch. There he is. Hey, Peck. Good to see you, and grab a good sweat or what? Hand it over. Anyway, thanks for delivering that package. Don't suppose Dina said anything? Well, really? But they were surprised to find they left it at my house. Yeah, it sure seems that way. Like, you know, you can run more consistent ways of outing anti-spell fragrance than someone can run copies of anti-spell fragrance. But, no, anti-spell fragrance has to go, because that 1 copy of a card, 1 in like 5 games, might matter. And even if anti-spell was at 3, well, there is, off the top of my head, Cosmic Cyclone, Mystical Space Typhoon, Twin Twisters, Twister. So that right there, 3, 6, 9, 12 copies of Spell Trap Disruption. That's ignoring that most decks will be side decking 3 copies of Lightning Storm and 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. Lightning Storm is a card that says as long as you control no other face-up cards, or no face-up cards, you can activate it, and either destroy all of your opponent's spell or traps, or all of their face-up attack position monsters. So basically, it's spell trap removal on a massive scale. Harpy's Feather Duster just says destroy all your opponent's spell trap cards. It's at 1. Don't know why it's not just at 3. We have literally Harpy's Feather Duster at home at 3, and nobody has an issue with it, but whatever. Well, okay, back row decks have an issue with it because it's kind of bullcrap that there's more mass removal for spell traps than there is for monsters. But, you know, and the stuff for monsters has a lot more restrictions on it than for the back row. Like, Lightning Storm does not hit spell traps and monsters all equally, because it needs to be face-up attack position monsters. That is 2 conditions for destroying monsters. It's just destroy all spell traps. No conditions outside of control no face-up cards. Like, you know. And like, you'll get people complain that Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just combo monster decks, but then players will complain anytime it's not. Sundays are delicious every day of the week, unless you hate ice cream. I mean, I wouldn't say to have them every day of the week, because then they'd probably stop being delicious and you'd probably start hating ice cream, but it's not entirely wrong. You can also make a sundae out of, like, frozen yogurt to get around the disliking ice cream. 30 is not a winner, so we get a taiko drum. Yay! I really want to try the taiko games. I know there's one on the Switch. I would want to get, like, the peripheral for it, though. It just wouldn't feel right playing it with just buttons. And I know this from having poked at one on this same Citrus that I'm playing this on. And you can play it with just the buttons, but it's not, it just doesn't have the same feel. Now it's my chat saves. You pay us a visit on a Sunday too. What? To me? I'm happiest here at work, don't you know? Plus I get to chit-chat with our customers sometimes. No. Yeah, you get to chit-chat with me specifically, because I highly doubt you talk with anybody else. But that's fine. At least no one else in the town. Other Sables talk with other people, but this Sable only really talks with me. But, you know, like, it does kind of drive me crazy when you hear people like CGB. And I'm not saying this to bash the guy. I like his content. I like the dude. He seems like a nice dude. But, like, it does kind of drive me crazy when people like that in card games are like, well, how dare you have an answer for my negates or counter spells? Like, how could you? It's supposed to be me telling you that you can't play the game, not the other way around. And one of the things I had saw was someone being like, oh, but, you know, with Hearthstone, all decks are basically built under the assumption that the game's going to be over by X turn. And it's like, well, yeah, every deck in every card game is designed under the idea of you're going to win by X turn. That's how you build your deck. Like, and they were going on like, oh, well, but, you know, and because of that in these games, I think I've got 3 gold nuggets at this point. I need to put my watering can away into storage. It's the gold slingshot. That's my wetsuit. Why did I forget that was the wetsuit? And this was the rubber tree. Why did I was gonna put that upstairs. Okay, I need to go check my storage. Because I might have 3 gold nuggets. I don't remember, though. But, like... It's very much one of those things where... The thing that really gets me is, like... Basically, they were talking about, like, CGB and CMO, because it was a video of the two of them. They were in there talking about how, basically, it's going to have the biggest impact, this, like, anti-counterspell card, in the highest levels of Commander, where you're playing a 100-card deck of singletons. Because, well, in a game of Commander... Okay, I've only got 2. You know, between all 4 players, you're looking at, you know, probably like 100 to, you know, ish counterspells between everybody, probably more, and it's like... Okay, but doesn't that sound like the problem, though? Shit, I'm gonna put the gold nuggets away as well. Like, to me, what the problem sounds like is all the counterspells. If people are going to be main decking a, you know, singleton 2-drop, that's entire effect is I am immune to counterspells. Because there's so many counterspells going around that they can't play the game otherwise. Isn't that the problem? That sure sounds like the problem to me is the counterspells, not the single card. And that single card is very vulnerable to removal. It has no protection outside of a ward where you pay 2 life. Oh no. 2 whole life. Whatever will I do? Like, that would basically be like, in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, pay 400 life points to destroy your opponent's thing. That's not a big ask. You have plenty. You know. Like, life is a resource. And the only point that matters is the last one. You know. So I really don't see the problem. Like, my angel deck could deal with that thing. You know. And that's ignoring all the ways that blue has to just simply bounce it back to the hand for less mana than it costs to cast. Like, blue wins that mana race. And, like, one of the things that was being used was like, oh, well, you know, there's a red-white deck that has a 7-drop spell that they would love to have uncounterable, and they'll often use a land to make it uncounterable. It's like, okay. So they're currently doing this on turn 8. Using this little guy, if they have to cast it in the same turn, that now pushes that turn 8 play to a turn 9 play. I don't know, that just doesn't sound viable to me. Like, the only time that's even gonna come into play is against the control deck. And that's only because the control deck is sitting there trying to gather up its win condition. Trying to find a cool fish to give to Barbara. I could give her a squid. Squids are pretty cute. Like, I don't know, man. I don't see a problem with it, like, at all. And any of you all out there who play card games, maybe you'll feel differently than me. Maybe you're the counter control mage. I'm the floodgate control player, so like, you know. But I also, you know, I like Yu-Gi-Oh's floodgates because they more often than not are reciprocal. Both players are affected by them, meaning I have to build my deck differently to use them. So it makes sense to you would then also have to build your deck a bit differently to counter mine. But if you can counter mine, I've got nothing. You know. Like, it's just one of those things where I just like it, you know? You know, I think it's Royal Oppression I'm thinking of is probably one of my favorite Royal Oppression. Yeah. It's a continuous trap that says either player can pay 800 life points to negate the special summon of a monster or an effect that would special summon a monster and destroy those cards. I want you to remember something I've said many a time about Yu-Gi-Oh! Every deck special summons. Even this control-y Royal Oppression deck would have to special summon. They would need to remove their own Royal Oppression before they start special summoning. Or else your opponent is going to spend the resource of life points to just stop you. The funniest thing about that is because of how, like, the card effect has to be worded the way it is. Like, this is a quirk of Yu-Gi-Oh! If it just said, pay 800 life points, negate a summon, or a special summon. Oh, Flounder, make up your mind, fishy. It would only impact built-in summons. It wouldn't have any impact on an, like, monster reborn. It only prevents built-in summons if it doesn't say, or an effect that would special summon. Hey, I caught you your fish. I'm thinking Oracle needs something that'll help it stand out, like a statue fountain. That would be pretty nice. Exactly what we need. I'll tell Isabel about it. I brought you a fish. I'm gonna give you a squid. Yes, I did. Nicely done. Got me a squid. Still something in thanks. Furniture. It's a paper lantern. Ooh, I like the paper lanterns. Nice. Thank you, Barbara. I get the feeling by tomorrow I'll be feeling good enough to take this mask off. For today, I'm gonna keep it on, though. I mean, really, you should keep your mask on for, like, you know, 3 to 5 days after you feel you're better, because you're probably still carrying whatever it was that made you sick. Can I just say as well, like, I get this is probably gonna be pretty controversial. I don't understand why masks are controversial. I say this as somebody who literally has an aversion to having cloth covering my face in any way. I still wore a mask. Like, and if I had them easily available to me, I don't know where the mask I wore during 2020 went. It's around here somewhere. If I still had them readily available to me, I'd still put them on when I'm sick and I need to leave the house. It just feels like the common courtesy thing to do. I don't want to be the reason somebody else gets sick, you know? And I think I'll do the ceremony for the cafe tomorrow. But yeah, I just felt like adding that at the end. It's like, man, it just annoys me of how they're still controversial to wear masks. It's like, you're sick. You should seek to prevent the spread of being sick. And like, I know the thing was like, oh, but they're making even people who aren't sick wear them. It's like, yes, that's because there are people who are sick who are going out without masks on, and wearing a mask keeps you from getting sick, or at least helps keep you from getting sick. Like, if everybody who was sick wore masks, we wouldn't have the need to tell everybody when there's a giant global event where everybody is getting deathly sick that everybody needs to wear a mask. Like, there's a reason illnesses tend to not last as long in countries where wearing a mask when you get sick is just commonplace. You know, but that's enough of that. I do want to say I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf, where hopefully I'll be feeling even better. See you all then.